Victim Services of Renfrew County is a community-based volunteer organization that provides 24/7 crisis response to victims of crime and tragedy throughout Renfrew County and Algonquin Park. We respond on-site to police and fire, and during business hours to the community at large on any crime or any tragedy or community disaster.
All our work is done in the shadows, so there is no glory, there's no name and neon lights at the end of the call. It's that inner feeling you get of helping another human being at the end of the day that keeps our volunteers going.
Because the major part of victim services is confidentiality, that we don't walk around wearing signs. So a lot of people don't even know we exist. And it's such a huge, huge need. And again, we're such a huge, huge county, and I think that's part of it too. That yes, maybe I'm coming from one place and there's another volunteer from another place, but when you look at the whole county, there's a lot of gaps where you'll never run into a neighbor who's a victim service volunteer.
In fact, we tell our clients or victims that if we were to meet them the next day, we would not let on that we had even met them, out of respect for them and the situation they were in and the time that we dealt with them.
And I love it. I love to be able to help people. And there's no bells and whistles, there's no thing in the newspaper. You just go in, you say your first name, and you go in, you do the best you can.
The training itself is about 55 hours in length, and it's quite an intense training actually. It's based on sort of how to support people in a peer support model, and it's like an empowerment approach to helping others at that time of need.
Extremely in-depth. The training prepared me for anything that has happened so far on any calls, but also further in my life. It's enabled me to deal with a lot of experiences different than what I would have done previously.
I think the key thing that the training teaches is the best thing for the victim is to help empower them to take control of their own situation, as difficult or as devastated as they may be at that time.
I found once you get out onto a real call, there is no time limit. You could be there for 5 minutes, you could be there for 8 hours. It's by being there and helping.
What amazes me is how people will almost bond to you, even though it's only a short time frame. But sitting there with someone and just being able to sit and listen to them and allowing them to say what they need to say, it really gives you a feeling of strength. And you sort of want to be able to pass that strength back to them, and if you can, it's an amazing feeling.
Kind of a paradox, I think. When you get involved with victim services, you wish that you would never get a call. You'd hope that there's no need, but that's not reality.
Our volunteers, I can't say enough about our volunteers and what a committed, dedicated group we have. They're absolutely amazing. They give relentless hours, they give relentless time for no pay. They get out of bed, no questions asked, 3 o'clock in the morning, and the winter's coming, so the cold nights, they get out of their nice warm beds, they jump in their cars and they go to wherever we direct them to go to, whatever's happened. So huge commitment they do.
Once I got my first call, I was just beside myself. I didn't know what to think. I was jumping around, waiting to a call, and everything was new to me. But I noticed when we were done the call, I really felt good coming home. And I get that feeling every time. The chance that I can go and see somebody who has had something happen to them, whether it be a death notification or a fire or an assault or anything, I can actually go and help somebody at their deepest, hardest time and spend a bit of time with them and make a difference. And I don't even know them and they don't know me, and there's a chance that I'll never see them again. It's just a real good feel. You're actually helping somebody who really needs help.
I was completely ready because it was the first time I was on call. I was at home as much as I could possibly be, and the pager went off and I felt like I'm ready to go. And I was waiting for the second call, and I went and grabbed my manual and I started flipping through the manual trying to figure out, well, what am I supposed to say and what should I not say? And when the second call came in, when I was supposed to meet my partner at a specific place, I stopped everything I was doing, just took a couple of seconds to calm myself, got in the car, and I was ready to go. The training completely prepared me.
Do I ever, as clear as if it was yesterday. And of course, it's 4:30 on a Sunday morning, and woken from a dead sleep to go on a call. And I just felt panic. But that was temporary. Once you get going, getting your stuff together, because you've been trained, everything's in your car, you're ready to go, and you head up. By the time we got to where we were needed, it went amazing.
I think victim services is a lifeline. I think it's a neutral, objective, calming support that can be put in place very easily through a referral to somebody at the worst moment of their life. And when I think about victim services, 10 years ago, and I think about it now, it still boils down to the fact of, if and when something tragic happened to me or my loved ones, how would I want that service to be? What standards, what ethics, what principles would I want me or my loved one to receive?
I also know victim services, from what I've seen, is appreciated by both the police and the fire people. I understand through the training that it allows them to do their job. We're kind of the little buffer in between. And they really appreciate it, and it hits so many positives.
Every situation we encounter, we learn something. We learn something, I think, every day. We learn something new about the agency, a different agency. So we're always evolving, always changing, always looking for ways to expand our services, to try to be more helpful, to try to be more committed, to try to be out in the community more, trying to get the word out to more people so we can service more people. So I think in 10 years we've come a long way. However, there's still a long ways to go.
I think when we first started, we were looking at ensuring we had volunteers to cover our schedule, ensuring that we had board members to be our guiding body, that we had skilled staff to be able to be there to provide the support and the leadership to our volunteers. When I look at the program 10 years later, what I see is that we have those systems in place, but I see our challenge in the years to come being ensuring that victims know they have a right to service, ensuring that victims know how to access us and what it is that we can actually do for them. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank our partners in the community for being a part of our journey and for helping us to make a difference in the lives of victims of crime and tragic circumstances. Thank you to all of our police partners and our fire partners for believing in our service and offering it to victims so that we can be there for them.
Huge thank you as well to our volunteers who are there for us 24/7. All the volunteers that have touched our lives for the past 10 years, who continue to touch our lives, our existing volunteers who will continue to do the work tirelessly, endlessly, day in, day out. A huge thank you. Kudos to all of you for sticking with us and being part of this program and your commitment to being there for people in our community 24/7. Huge thank you to our existing and past, present, and current volunteers. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.